When I was in high school, I developed an interest in philosophy, which is a nice way of saying I spent a lot of time trying to decide whether or not life is worth living. But eventually, I decided that I wanted to be a philosopher. And once I realized that that's not a career that you can have, that's not like a job that you can just choose, I figured the closest I could get was either a televangelist or a stand-up comedian. And the televangelist thing didn't really work out. I ended up accidentally joining a cult, so here I am now as your stand-up philosopher. And I think it is a pretty similar path, really, when you think about it. I mean, the Greek philosopher Epictetus once said, "I must die eventually. If my time comes now, well, then I die now. But if not, I suppose I'll have lunch." And he said that on a raised platform in front of people who were there to hear him speak. He was a stand-up comedian. But a good portion of philosophy, not a majority, but like a good chunk, is dedicated to proof of the existence of God. Proving whether or not God actually exists. And I personally don't believe in a God, but I feel compelled to try to prove myself wrong because that's what philosophy is all about, really. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I'm going to try to prove to you guys, present proof that God exists, right? And I'm going to do it in 3 parts. Part 1. When I was a kid, my stepdad used to make me do chores around the house and yard work, things like that. You know, standard stuff, clean the toilet, weed the garden, tile the roof, all of that. So he wouldn't tell me how to do it, he would just tell me to do it. And then when I inevitably fucked it up, he would call me stupid and mock me and make me do it again until I got it right. You know, like stepdads do. So, yeah, or regular dads. So fast forward about 2 decades, my stepdad is drunk. He goes out and he's doing his own yard work drunk. And he hurt himself. He hurt himself so bad he actually had to go to the hospital. And while he was in the hospital, he fucking died. Now that kind of poetic justice and comedic timing could only be attributed to divine intervention. That was just one of many punchlines in my life that I had to wait for. You know, it was a joke from the start. I had to wait for the punchline. So we're dealing with a God with a good sense of humor. Part 2, dinosaurs. We know that dinosaurs existed, right? We've seen the fossils. At the bare minimum, we know what they were shaped like. We know enough about dinosaurs to make chicken nuggets that are shaped like dinosaurs, and that's the important part. We as a society, we did it, we made dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets. And then, years later, we discovered that dinosaurs are the distant relatives of chickens. We took the meat off the bones of chickens and formed it into the shape of their ancestors that we discovered from their bones. That's fucked up. That is a punchline billions of years in the making, you guys. And we were fortunate enough to be alive to see the punchline. That, again, we're talking about an eternal being with a good sense of humor. Part 3, Hebrew national hot dogs. I feel like I shouldn't have to elaborate, but I will, just in case some of you don't get what I'm getting at. Hebrew national hot dogs are beef hot dogs that taste better than other hot dogs. Now, what's the difference between a Hebrew national hot dog and any other beef frank? Well, the difference is Hebrew nationals are kosher. What is kosher? Well, kosher means that it was blessed by the Most High God. So, and I'm sure the cow didn't feel very blessed, but that's beside the point. So, if all the difference is it was blessed and it tastes better, I submit, in conclusion, that we are dealing with a God who has a good sense of humor, can make meat taste better, and killed my stepdad. And honestly, I think I can get behind that. I think that's fine. Did I convince anybody? Anybody? Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. You shouldn't be listening to me.
Where do I sign